Hi guys, my name is Fred.
And my name is Godfred. I'm 16 years old, studying science at the senior high school. And
welcome to Sementia Farms. Today, Godfred and I want to take you on a journey because I know most of you that want to go into either livestock farming or crop farming are thinking about what tools and equipment should I invest in before I even go into the farming. Don't waste your money, so stay tuned as we bring you this episode. Thank you guys for sticking around and waiting for this episode. I know you all remember Godfred, who has been the project manager of this farm as I'm traveling around. Godfred is in high school but very enthusiastic about farming, and of course he got to do what I'm doing, right? So introducing him to the business, he's been supporting me very well, especially now that I'm traveling so much. So you guys should watch out. You're going to be hearing more from him, and he's going to show us more updates, as most of the time I'll be traveling out of the country. But today what we are focusing on are some of the tools and equipment, and I know most of you have been asking me about what kind of tools do I need. What I need: a baler, I need a chaff cutter, do I need a tractor, and so on and so forth. So we decided that we want to share the genesis of this farm with you. So Godfred, when we started, what was the first equipment that we bought? I think when we started the farm, we actually started with the hay. So we planted our brachyra grass. This is when we started the cattle farm, before poultry came in, before goats, before anything. So we had a cattle farm and we planted the brachyra grass. So planting was manual, and then I think the first time we cut it, we actually used cutlass. So we had laborers who were using cutlass and cutting everything, and as you know, we were baling everything manually. What was the first equipment that we bought?
So at first we were using the bush cutter that we put at our back for cutting. So that was our first tool that we used at the farm here for the brachyra grass.
So
we were cutting it.
So basically, I remember the one we will put, and then we'll put diesel or
petrol and then oil. We mix it together and then we put it inside.
And then we'll just basically be going like that, just cutting it. It was good. It was better than using machete because of manpower. So we used that for, I think, a whole season. A season means one rainy season where I think we had about
we bought like 5.
Okay, so I remember 5. We started with 2 and then we bought another 3. So we got about 5 bush cutters at our warehouse. That was what we started with. So we started very small, even though I knew about slashers and other big we were starting, so we wanted to try different things. And at the same time, we didn't have that much capital to go in for bigger machine if we didn't know how long this whole cattle farming and things are gonna go. So we started with 5 bush cutters, and that's what we used for a while. And then from there we went on to
we went on with the working tractor. So we had a small tractor that was also using diesel as well. So it was like a tractor, but it wasn't big as the tractor. So you had to put in the diesel and then you start it. So you see, like, working, it will work by itself. You don't have to push it. So that was our second tool that we used at the farm here to cut the brachyra grass.
I remember that working tractor very well. I think we got 2 of those also from China. They were about 24 horsepower. So basically, once you start it, you just have to control it. And then it has an attachment called sickle bar. So basically, once you attach the sickle bar, it just goes like this. And as you're guiding it, it just cuts it based on the level. And you can even put it in first gear, second gear, and
it was
third
like
year,
a tractor.
Yeah.
It was like a tractor, but it was small.
yeah, just that you don't sit in it, right? This one, you're walking behind it and pushing it. And basically, that was good. I mean, I think that was very efficient. We used that on our 11-acre land.
Yeah.
And that was good. So within, what,
like 3 hours.
3 hours?
You are done, like, gathering it, and then you started packing it to the warehouse.
Yeah.
So it was very easy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And we didn't waste much time using the working tractor, like the bush cutter, and so it was very good.
Yeah. So yeah, I 3 hours. Yeah. So that was doing the work. So if you have 11 acre of brachial grass, that working tractor alone could just cut it within 3 hours, which is very, very efficient, right? It does shake you a lot, though we still have it, we still use it. So I think that was a good step for us, you know. And the whole idea was, I know we needed tractor at a certain point. I didn't have any land that was big enough for me to invest into a tractor, right? So my biggest land during that time was 11 acres. And I feel like if I go and buy like a 50, 60 or 95 horsepower tractor, the land is too small for that. So I was always looking for something smaller, cheaper, to be able to work small acres of land. This is different. If you have, you know, if you're starting with 20 acres and above, there's no need for you to start with this small equipment just like we started, right? You can go in straight away and get yourself a tractor. But if you don't have it and you have 3 acres, 5 acres, and you're starting your farm, then definitely some of these small equipment will come in handy. And the working tractor didn't only have the sickle bar for cutting, it also had a plow, and then it had a harrow, and then it has a shovel as well that you can just detach and attach it and use it for your garden and so on, as you can see. So if you're interested in that, please hit on the comments, let me know, and I'll be able to connect you to the supplier and share all details that you need. I think it's 24 horsepower. There is electric, and then there is also the manual starter. I think ours was electric, but at some point we actually moved it to manual starter because it was much easier for us. It uses a small battery, and then that's it. So we went to the tractor, and then from the tractor, what else did we buy?
So from the tractor, we had a chaff cutter which will cut the grass that the working tractor will cut into pieces, so that it will be easier for the cattle to feed on. Yeah. After we using the working tractor to cut it into pieces, we had to bale it because maybe they will not eat all that we will get from the farm. So we had to bale some. So we had a mini baler at the farm here. So the chamfine will operate for the baler. Yeah. So we had to use the chamfine for power for the baler. So we had the chaff cutter and then the baler before we had the slasher. Yeah. So we had the slasher with the tractor will operate. So with the slasher, we don't have to use the chaff cutter again, because as for the slasher, it has already cutting it into pieces. So on the field, we have to leave it on the field for it to dry, then we bring it to the warehouse. When it's dried, we can use the baler to bale it. So we don't have to, cut it again. Already it is cutting, so we have to bring it and then we bale it as how it has been cut into pieces.
Yeah. So Godfrey talked about the chaff cutter. So we had the bush cutter, then we bought a working tractor with a sickle bar, then we went into the chaff cutter. So why did we go for a chaff cutter? As he explained, the working tractor was cutting the grass, so we had a length of about 4 feet, and what we'll do is we'll then bring it to the warehouse. We could bale it manually, but I think we bought the working tractor when we had 11 acres. So with 11 acres, we were seeing, a huge volume of grass. So there's no way we were going to, bale it with our hand. So we got a baler, and then we got a chaff cutter to cut it into pieces, and then the baler to bale it. So all this is a step-by-step sort of journey. But if you have a big land, as I said, and you have your tractor, then you can move straight away into a slasher and a baler. And as Godfred was explaining, once you cut with a slasher, there's no point in using the chaff cutter to cut it into pieces, because the slasher will actually do it, cut it into pieces, right? So maybe we go in, now that we are talking about the tractor equipment, right? We go in and see. So before we even bought a tractor, we were still buying the equipment. I think the first equipment that I bought as a tractor implement was the hay rake and the baler. So what is a hay rake? So what you're seeing here is a hay rake. And what this does is we connect this to the PTO. So this is a PTO driven hay rake. Once this is connected to the PTO and this is connected to the top bar, it rakes. So what you see is this will move around and turn the grass that you've cut on the floor. So every day you come in there, you attach it to the tractor and it rakes the grass, right? So that it can dry properly. Otherwise, if you leave the grass on the floor, the bottom one is going to rot. In the morning, what happens is that, you know, it will get wet, and in the afternoon you need to turn it. So this rake does that job for you, right? Then the next thing that we did was we knew that now we are going to the field to do all this job. So we also bought a baler that attached to the tractor. So instead of using the baler that is powered by chamfan, just like Godfred said, we got a baler that you can attach. So once the rake sits and is dry, then you use the baler to bale it. So at this point, we don't need to, you know, carry it from the field and bring it to the warehouse before we bale. We basically rake it there and bale it right there, which is very, very simple. Right from there, we can carry the bales and bring it to the warehouse. So basically, those are the two implements that I bought even before I bought a tractor, because I knew that I would need this, right? And tractor is expensive, as you all know. So I was just buying the implements that I need before I bought the tractor. Then, lastly, we bought the slasher, which Godfred, do you want to tell us how the slasher works?
Yeah, so this is the slasher, and here is the shaft. So we connect this shaft to the PTO of the tractor, and then there is inside the tractor, something inside the tractor that you have to press on it, and then this one will start working. So you have the blades. Blades is at the is under this, so it's there. So you have to, when you connect this to the tractor, we start operating. So and here is the top bar too. So you have to connect this to the top bar, and then so that you can raise it to the level that you want your grass to be cut. So yeah.
And it's actually the heaviest equipment
we have at the farm right now.
It's very, very heavy. Yeah, and we actually bought this from John Deere. So very, very quality one. I mean, you can see it lying down here. It's getting beaten by the rain. But the moment you want to operate it, you just connect the top bar. You connect the shaft to the PTO, and then the tractor will raise it up. And then you take it to your farm. You transport it basically to your farm. Once you get there, you lower it to the level of what you're going to cut the grass, and then you start operating. So basically, that is what we've been using now to cut our grass, and it's very efficient. I mean, when we go there with this, within 1 hour or less, we are done cutting, and then the rake will start doing its job. After the rake, then we can then look at the baler will come in once the grass is dry, and then start baling it. And very, very, very easy. So basically, this is the tractor that we've been using. The last thing that I want to talk about is we have also the plow, and we have a trailer, right? So that's the plow. So before we will plant either maize or even the grass on the land, we'll connect this plow to the tractor and basically use it to plow the land. So this is it. So it's a 4-set plow that we use, and also we have a trailer here, which once we build it, we are able to use it to pick whatever it is and bring it to the farm. The good thing about the trailer is it also tips, right? So whatever you load inside, when you bring it here, you can tip it and everything will fall, which is very, very useful. So it's taking us a couple of years and a lot of hard work to be able to buy all these you know, implements and equipment. But the thing is, you don't really need it when you start. They can be very capital intensive. So don't let this encourage you, and don't feel like you need it. When I started, the bush cutter was like 500 or 700 cities, and that's where I started from, right? And then gradually, as I expand, we were also buying like more implement and so on. So I think this gives you an idea, if you're a new farmer or if you're an old farmer, some of the things that you need at your farm to be able to run either your crop farming or your livestock farming, if you want to do intensive farming or go big on livestock. These are some of the equipment that we have here, and so far they've all been very, very useful. I'm going to do a separate video about the tractor and give you more information about it, so stay tuned if you're watching this video, and then that one will be coming very soon. Godfred, any last words before we close?
Yeah, so thank you all for watching this video, and please do all to subscribe and then share this channel to other farmers so that they get the benefit that you are getting from here. So thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you're new, and then hit the notification button so that you get notified when we upload any video. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.